you got to hit it kind of hard, okay? Okay? So ring the bell first, and then I'll give you the microphone. So ring it. We're ready. Harder. Yeah. It's on?
Do I wait till they quiet down, Mr. Michael?
Yeah, wait till they all stand up. And then... Okay, go.
Welcome to the annual Cataract meeting. Welcome to the annual Cataract meeting of the fabulous Las Vegas Rotarian Club. Our combined clubs continue to make a difference by teaching youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development. My name is Caden Cheeks, president of Bracken Cataract Club.
And I'm Michael Gordon, and we're both proud to be presidents of the best Cataract Club and the best Rotary clubs in the world.
Wow, I like your enthusiasm, Michael. Have you ever thought of teaching kindergarten? If so, see Mrs. Decker if you're interested. Oh, just a little advice, Michael. She has high standards, so bring your A game.
No, that's the invitation.
May I have the invocation, Ellie, up here, please?
Is she going to stand?
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for many blessings today. Thank you for the food we are about to eat. Thank you for our friends, old and new. We ask you look over our families so that they too can feel your guidance and wisdom and watch over them. We ask you to bless this meeting. We look forward to honoring you by helping those who are less fortunate than us. In God's name, we pray. Amen. Today's thought, If You Can Dream It, You Can Do It, by Walt Disney. The power of the mind is absolute. All of you in here have done just that. You began with a dream, but most importantly, you acted on it. At Bracken, we do the same. We learned that mistakes are not dream killers, but dream makers. Never stop dreaming. More importantly, never stop acting. You can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. And the song leader?
May I have Natalia, the song leader, up here, please?
Oh, that's more than Natalia. You can stand up there if you want to.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be singing our state song. Located on your table are the lyrics for Home Means Nevada. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Way out in the land of the setting sun, where the wind blows wild and free, there's a lovely spot, just the only one that means home, sweet home to me. If you follow the old Kit Carson trail till the desert meets the hills, oh, you certainly will agree with me. It's a place of 1,000 thrills. Home means Nevada, home means the hills, home means the stage and the pines. Out by the Truckee silvery rills, out where the sun always shines. There is a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see. Right in the heart of the Golden West, home means Nevada to me. Wherever the sun at the close of day, colors of the western sky, oh, my heart returns to the desert gray where the moonbeams play and shadow gleam. Where the planetoid and the shadows glint, where the spotted fawn and doe, all the living lights in the morning night is the loveliest place I know. Home means the battle, home means the hills, home means the stage and the pines. Out by the Truckee silvery rills, out where the sun always shines. There is a land that I love the best, fairer than all I can see. It's right in the heart of the Golden West. Home means Nevada to me.
Thank you. You guys see some of them were singing without the words? Okay, now the pledge.
And may I have Batania up here for the pledge, please?
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So you can tell them they can be seated.
Okay. You may be seated, please.
Okay. So, do you want to do this, or you want me to do this? Okay. So, our sergeant is Carla. So our sergeant at arms for the day is Carla. Carla, are you ready to be of service? You ready? Okay. First, we're going to go to this guy up front here, Mr. Bob Warner, and see if we have any international visiting Rotarians. Well, we have plenty of other guests, so no international Rotarians. Okay, let's move on to visiting Rotarians. I know we have a couple of visiting Rotarians. If you could please raise your hand. Over there. Right there.
Is this for announcements now, or just do I do my announcement now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. I'm Jerry Holinsky with the Green Valley Rotary, and thank you for having me. So, this Memorial Day, the Green Valley Rotary is hosting their first annual Field of Honors in conjunction with the USO right here. So it's really exciting, and as you probably heard from the USO in past weeks, here's how you can all be part of it. You can either buy a flag and dedicate it to somebody you know, either a service member, military, past or present, a first responder, police, fire, other service, or somebody who's a hero to you. It could be your father, your uncle, your aunt, your neighbor, and their name will be on that flag. And it'll be hundreds and hundreds of flags lined up at Cornerstone Park on Memorial Day Saturday, and you can be part of that. Either purchase a flag, or for any of you that have a business, or individually, if you want to have a sponsorship, that's available too. There's information on all of the tables, and I'll be here afterwards for more information. Thank you for letting me announce that.
Any other visiting?
Do we have any other visiting Rotarians?
Over here.
Thank you very much. I'm Ed Frederick. I'm from Minnesota, and I started in Rotary in 1964 on January the 6th. I haven't missed a meeting since that time, so I'm in my 55th year. God has given me great health to be able to do that, so I'm proud to be able to say that also. I have my son with me, Ken, and glad to have him chaperone me around at this stage of my life. So, yeah, I'll be 88 this year.
Thank you. More visiting Rotarians?
Do we have any more visiting Rotarians?
Okay, seeing none, let's move on to guests of Rotarians.
Wait, you said
Just say guest of Rotarians.
okay, do we have any guest Rotarians?
Guests of Rotarians.
Oh, sorry, guest of Rotarians. Sorry.
Thank you. My guest is a familiar face, Gail Anderson, Chief of Protocol for the City of Las Vegas.
Back there.
Hi, I'm Aaron Overton. I'm a guest for the third time. Ted McAdam was the one who introduced me here, and he's not here today, so I just, I figured it out from the last 2 times that I could stand to do it. And then, because sometimes guests bring guests, this is my guest, Tabitha Godinez. She is also interested in Rotary, and this is her first time visiting a Rotary at all, anywhere.
I'm glad to hear that guests are paying attention during our meetings. So over there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My guest is Mr. Taylor Brown, who is visiting us from Boston. He is with the Development Office of the Department of Engineering at Northeastern, where I was a graduate student.
Do I say all of them?
No. More guests? Find out.
Do we have any more guests?
Then it's Caitlin and myself's pleasure to introduce our guest at the head table, which is Joan Murdoch, who graduated with a degree in civil engineering, and served as a warden of a men's prison. She built a cabin in the woods, likes to fish and hunt, and loves to travel, and coming to her beloved Rotary Club every Thursday for lunch. Please join Caitlin and myself in welcoming all our visiting Rotarians, guests, and Kitaractors. So let's, if you could take the microphone, Carla, to past President Karen Wisenant for feedback on our putting tournament that we had on Sunday. Karen, can you please raise your hand?
Okay, thank you all for coming out last Sunday or participated in it. We had 80 people signed up for the golf putting tournament, and out of that we had about a dozen kids. Out of the 80, we had 70 that showed up, had a beautiful lunch. And we made $2,200 for the Rotary Youth Exchange Program, and it was absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite stories was the little munchkin about this high, even shorter than you guys. And his name was Connor. He was from the Summerlin Club. And I was running around taking pictures, and Connor said, "Excuse me, I'm the best golfer." I said, "I know, I heard that." And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, and I have a prize for the best golfer. So after this, come and see me." He pointed at me. He said, "I will find you." So we had mystery gifts for all of the kids, and so they had their own raffle, and it made them feel real special. And so Connor got 2 gifts. So anyway, thank you all for participating. We had 5 different Rotary clubs there, and it was just a wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you. And then just a reminder. Our club is featured in this month's Rotarian magazine together with our favorite principal and our Kitaract Club. So if you have not read that article, you can go online, see Sean, and if you have, please bring those Rotarian magazines back to us because it will be a wonderful recruitment tool for us. And now, you can introduce Principal Katie.
Okay. Wait, do I tell her to come up here? Or do I just...
No, just tell Carla.
Carla, can you take the mic to Mrs. Decker, please?
All right. Well, this is one of my favorite meetings, of course, having the children here. But I also brought 2 of my superstar staff members from Howard Hollingsworth. I brought Bethany Irving. Bethany is actually a Teach for America candidate. And if you don't know anything about them, they're amazing. I will take 100 of them. She has an awesome work ethic. She does a great job. She jumped in. She got proficient very quickly with the children, with kindergartners that she serves. She has a spirit that is amazing. When we did our Playworks, she showed up in a banana suit. The Playworks coach said, "I've never had a school jump in that quickly." She definitely has the spirit and heart that we love having at Howard Hollingsworth. So we truly appreciate her. Erin Miller, we've been together for many, many years. She started over at Bracken as a long-term substitute. When she was ready to be hired, I didn't have a position, so she went with Jean Please over to Will Beckley. Well, when Jean was getting ready to leave, I stole her back, and she's over at Walter Long now and teaches 2nd grade. And we love having Erin on our team. She truly understands the STEAM theme and our Bracken philosophy of raised expectations and improved academic achievement for all children. So very excited to have the two of them here today for lunch and getting a little break from the children. And I also have, just so you know, some other staff members in the house. Chris Herbert, our theme coordinator extraordinaire. You can see her over there. She's the one who fills out all the applications for those awesome awards that we win. And Klaus Friedrich is hiding around the room somewhere, and he learned what number 9 means in job descriptions, all other duties as assigned, and loves that job. And he's one of our computer helpers and all those number 9 things. And then Michelle Wheatfill, our awesome assistant principal, is here today, and she will actually take the reins at Bracken at the end of next year.
Can I have all the Kitaract members stand up for me, please? Okay. So do I just wait? Okay. Okay. Thank you for your guys' service. Okay, you guys can sit. So, wow, what a year, huh? It seemed just like yesterday we started Kitaract. Why, we were just kids. And now look at us. We're still kids, but we're older kids, though, mind you. All joking aside, as this year draws to a close, the time for reflection has come. What did we learn? We learned that those who need help will not always ask for it. And frankly, more than ever as leaders, we need to be proactive, stay silent more, and listen with our hearts. Sometimes this is just a smile in the hallway or a simple wave and hello. Sometimes it's just hearing others vent about a hard day at work. And sometimes people can't even express what they need. Perhaps a simple hug is needed. Point is, we need to ask. We need to listen. We need to help. Also, this year revealed another important lesson, and that is the world needs more humanity. So we set out to do our part. How, you may ask? Well, we use the Rotary map, of course. We love how you focus on promoting peace, fighting diseases. You work on providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. You help save mothers and children and grow your local economies. And of course, you support education. So no sooner than we started, our community was struck with tragedy. We joined with countless others to donate to the Las Vegas Victim Fund and donated $300, proving the motto. Vegas Strong was just not a slogan, but an awakening of what we are capable of doing when needed. Our school also created cards with heartfelt words, filled with words of support and love. For the holidays, one of our former staff, Major Todd Hines, stationed in Taji, Afghanistan, always sent us videos on how life was for soldiers defending our freedom. So we wanted to return the favor by sending him a care package with things soldiers needed: personal care products, thank you cards from our school, and of course, yummy candy and snacks, to which apparently was the envy of every soldier there. Now, we all know how good Bracken has become under Mrs. Decker's watch, and along with the incredible amount of support from community partners, such as yourselves. Did you know our reputation has gone global? Yep. This year we welcome an international group of teachers whom we're proudly toured around our school. Let me tell you, they were blown away by what was going on. We are truly making a difference around the world. Oh, and of course, we had our usual science service projects. Our food drive raised over, get this, 50 packed boxes of canned goods. Let me tell you, after putting all those boxes together, taping them shut, and moving them, I have to say, we can outpack anyone, hands down. There were spirit weeks, managing volunteer days, and working on our popular movie night. All in all, we raised $2,000. Just yesterday, we budgeted our final donations: $400 to Project Amigo, $400 to the Tanzanian Children's Fund, $400 to the Hefner International. This leaves us with a healthy endowment for next year, just in case our community needs us. So, in summary, yes, we've had challenges this year. Yes, the community needed us more than ever. But We listened with our hearts. We acted with more humanity. And yes, we put service above self. Thank you.
Wow, now it feels like our club doesn't do anything. Like I don't want to follow that. So good job to you and your leadership and for everything that you guys do. I know you guys don't have the budget that we do, but you certainly have bigger hearts than we do. So thank you. Now you can say President-elect Jackie Thornhill to take the microphone to her.
Carla, may you give the mic to President Jackie Thornhill?
And then after that, you can say.
Wow, that was a quick trip. Anyway, just wanted to remind everyone that we still have our Paul Harris Fellow match going. So if you want to get your first Paul Harris or you want to move up a level, let me know and I will tell you where you are so that we can get you into the Paul Harris Fellowship or upper levels. So just get a hold of me and I'll tell you where you are. Remember, we're matching up to 50%. So just get a hold of me.
Thank you. So we cannot do it without donations, so you can donate to the International Foundation, or I'm going to call Larry Rouse to the front, who is president of our local foundation. You can always donate to our local foundation. So today we have a special announcement, and Larry, if you can join me. So as you guys know, we've been on a capital campaign to reach our $2 million mark by the end of June 30th of this year, and we have an announcement.
Yeah. I am very happy to announce that you guys came through. We now have a $2,032,848 in the endowment fund. That's going to fund a lot of good things.
So we have some champagne to celebrate. We know some of you have to go back to work, so make your own choices in that regard. But champagne will now be served. So if you would like to partake and toast us, Larry, myself, and our club, we'll leave that up to you. So the servers are going to serve it while Larry and myself finish off this barometer.
And it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
So while they're handing out the champagne, let me just remind you that our local endowment spends off 3% of the previous 3 years that has to be used in our local community. It cannot be used anywhere else. So for this coming year, President-elect Jim Cole will have $54,000 that has to be used in our local community. The higher we get that amount, the more money we can spend in our local economy. So thank you to all of you for your contributions in helping our community. And with that, let's drink to our club and to our local Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. Cheers. Okay, that's it. Thank you, sir. Now, please enjoy a quick 4 minutes for lunch and fellowship. So hopefully you're inspired to continue to do good works in the community. Carla, I know I'm interrupting your lunch, but if you could take the microphone to past President Dave Thorson, who's right there in the blue shirt. Dave, you got to pay attention. You're up.
Well, as it turns out, we were talking about this debunking party. So on June 28th, we will be having a debunking party to wish Michael a farewell from being president. So put that on your calendar, 6 p.m., and the details will follow. It's going to be a fun event. And then, of course, we have the lights game that we're working on the USO with to send airmen to a lights game. That's our professional soccer team on June 2nd. And we're going to have a barbecue or a tailgate actually beforehand that the Rotarians are invited to as well. In the binder going around, if you'd like to sponsor a ticket for a troop, please mark down in there how many tickets you'd like to buy. They're $18 each. And if you want to go to the game, you can buy tickets for yourself, and they're also $18. We're doing a group deal, so everybody gets a lights scarf as well. I know the Golden Knights scarves were a big thing for the people that were smart enough to get season tickets this year for that. So please put those things on your calendar. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Ted McAdam is not here. So you all know about the Creech Air Force Base Tour on Tuesday, May 29th. I believe we are sold out. Sean, are we sold out for Creech? Okay, there's 2 seats left for the Creech Air Force Base Tour. It is an all-day tour. We leave at 7:30 a.m., and then we don't come back till 4:30 p.m. So if you would like to join, please sign up in the Green Book. I think we will allow spouses and friends of Rotarians now. We will open it. And then just a reminder, if you could please recycle any tickets, old wheels, anything like that on the table. If you could take it to the bin over there, that'll be great. And then finally, I would like to call President Caden back to the front and say thank you for everything that you guys do and continue to do and continue to show us how to lead and how to serve our community. So because of what you guys have done and because we like what we see, our club would like to present your Kitterack Club with a check for $300 that you guys can buy candy or popcorn and watch a movie or do whatever you guys want because you really worked hard. So congratulations. Do you want to say what you just
Thank you, Rotary Club. The members of Kitterack and myself also look up to you guys. And we appreciate everything that you guys do for our community. And we just want you guys to keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Do you guys have a fun thing you want to say about one of your members?
Okay. What do I say? Like shout out to one of the members?
Yeah, and you can say you find them $95 because it's our club's 95th birthday.
Okay. And shout out to Carla. You find me the group $95 because it's Rotary's annual 95th year.
So $95.
$95. She's so confused.
Yeah. Okay, is there anybody else you want to recognize?
Everybody, just everybody in the group.
What about Principal Decker? You can say, hey, Principal Decker, I want to give you a $95 fine because you're such an awesome principal.
And Ms. Decker, I want to give you a $95 fine because you're such an awesome principal for Walter Bracken and everything.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Thanks. No, you can take it with you. So that was not rehearsed. I just put her on the spot, and when I was that age, I couldn't speak in front of people. So well done, President Cheeks, and your leadership. Just telling her to find people, and she doesn't know what it is. she just ran with it. But she's got to eat now because they have to leave before 1 o'clock and actually go back. So we are going to go straight to our drawing. Oh, yeah, we can go to our drawing. Oh, wait, I'm getting, sorry. We're back to the fines. I'm sorry. People are pointing out other people, so I just have to go with it. So, Carla, I'm sorry, you're not going to eat. If you could take the microphone right up here to Lamar Marchese, or somebody who's trying to be incognito, but we don't really know who it is. Yeah, give him the microphone.
Hello. Salam alaikum.
Sir, how are you?
I'm great. I just came back from 3 weeks in the Middle East, in Egypt and Jordan, and this is the local garb, so I thought I would show it off.
So you bought it beforehand, or you bought it?
In Egypt.
Okay, you bought it over there.
This is called a galabia.
Okay. So hopefully you, what's the word? You didn't just accept
I brought back
the
some oil wells offshore I could bring over to the
Okay, nice. Right. So that, you wore that the whole time, or you have other colors?
Well, we were on a cruise ship on the Nile, and they had a galabia night. So everybody got dressed up, and then I had it. So I said, well, what am I going to do with it? I'll show it off at Rotary. There you go. I won't wear it again, probably.
Thanks. So thanks for showing the internationality of Rotary. Did you visit any?
It is called Rotary International, you know.
Yep. Did you visit any Rotary clubs while you were there?
No, because I was on a very tight tour. You know, I was like doing everything every day. Every day was sort of filled in. There wasn't really much downtime. So no, I didn't. But I saw Rotary signs everywhere for projects that Rotary's done all over Egypt and Jordan, different parks and roads and stuff. So Rotary's there everywhere, and you see it if you travel.
Okay. Well, welcome back, and thank you for your $95 donation to our foundation. Oh, I'm not going to say that, Jim. We're recording this. So with that, I'm going to move on to our drawing. So just read those numbers for the drawing.
Do I say ticket?
You say for the drawing, and then read those numbers.
For the drawing of the tickets, 6595558. Okay. 6595558.
Okay. So put that down.
Yes.
Stand up there. And then you gotta put that down. It is 5558. 6595558.
Now, before you applaud, please remember, it's not for me. I'm thinking this for my kids.
An ace. Ace of diamonds. So that is $50. Congratulations, Jerry. You can see Sean for your money. Put that back in there. And here, read that number.
6595514. And then do I repeat it now?
Give him a little time. Okay. And then read again.
6595514.
Tom Thomas. So say Tom Thomas. Congratulations, Tom Thomas.
Okay. Tom Thomas. Congratulations, Tom Thomas.
You got a applause for the photo.
Oh, here, I want to get with you. Thank you.
Okay, and then you can say, to introduce our speaker, you would like to call to the front Cedric Kane.
Cedric.
Cedric, to introduce our speaker, you would like to call to the front Cedric Kane.
Okay.
Yeah.
To introduce our speaker, can we have Cedric Kane up here, please?
Do you need the...
No. I knew you were going to say that. I should, but I'm not going to. Excuse me, I was ill-prepared. I hadn't swallowed yet. Sometimes we need to be reminded that we live in a desert. We're used to living life as if we had unlimited water supplies. And there are not unlimited water supplies. However, because of the efficient management of those that manage and oversee this very precious resource for us, we live our comfortable lives in the desert we call home. So I'm happy to introduce our speaker today. John Ensminger is the general manager of Las Vegas Valley Water District and the Southern Nevada Water Authority, and he can tell you more about that challenge. John?
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you guys today. I'm just going to get right into it and talk really about the major responsibilities of the Southern Nevada Water Authority. The Water Authority is the regional...
I'm sorry to interrupt. The kidder actors, unfortunately, guys, you have got to go back to school. So, yeah. So if you guys, thank you for coming and making our annual meeting so great again. And thanks for all the hard work.
All right. So in Hollywood, they say never accept a role opposite children or animals. And now I understand why. So back to the mundane subject of our water supply. So the Southern Nevada Water Authority is the regional wholesaler. We sell water to the city of Henderson, the city of North Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Valley Water District. So nobody in this room gets a bill from the Water Authority. You get a bill from the people we sell water to. And we have 5 major responsibilities. The first is water supply planning. We are charged by state law as the agency that has a 50-year water resource plan that we have to renew every single year in order to assure that we have a stable long-term supply for our community. The second is conservation. We are not a regulatory agency. We don't tell people how they use water. But what we do is coordinate with all of the local jurisdictions, agree on what the rules of the road are going to be, and then our member agencies put those codes and regulations into the county code, into city code, and into water district service rules so that we have the same conservation rules in Aliante, in Anthem, and in Summerlin. Water quality. We have 2 world-class water treatment facilities out at Lake Mead that ensure compliance with little things like the Safe Drinking Water Act and make sure our water is safe to drink every day. Lastly, fourth thing, infrastructure. We build a lot of really big things that nobody ever gets to see. We've built about $3.5 billion in infrastructure over the last 20 years. I'll show you a couple pictures of that. And that has been to accommodate not only our new residents, but also the people that already call Southern Nevada home. And then lastly, stewardship. We are responsible for the maintenance of the Las Vegas Wash, the Las Vegas Springs Preserve, the Warm Springs Natural Area. So we take stewardship of our natural resources very, very seriously. So who do we take care of? We serve water to 7 out of every 10 people that live in the state of Nevada every single day. That's 73% of the state's population, 76% of the state's economic output, and we do it all with less than 5% of the water that's available in the state of Nevada. People go down the strip, they think of Las Vegas as a profligate water user. In excess of 70% of the population. And speaking of the strip, again, people see those fountains, they assume we're just using a lot of water. We are blessed, and I don't think that's too strong of a word, living in the Mojave Desert with an extremely water-efficient base industry. We have 22% of our state's jobs, not Southern Nevada's jobs, the state of Nevada's jobs, in an industry that uses less than 0.1% of the water supplies available to the state of Nevada. So the next time one of your friends is banging on Nevada or Las Vegas for using a bunch of water, you can tell them we really don't use all that much. And how do we do it? The first thing is indoor use doesn't actually matter. If it hits a drain in Las Vegas, we treat it, we put it back down the Las Vegas wash into Lake Mead, and we can take that same gallon out. So you can run your faucet, your shower head, all day long. You could leave every shower and every hotel room on the strip 24 hours a day. It wouldn't increase the amount of water we deplete from the lake. There are good reasons to use less water indoors, power consumption, the cost of chemicals to treat the water, but the only way we lose water out of our system is outdoor irrigation and evaporative cooling. So where do we get our water? We get 90% of our water from the Colorado River via Lake Mead, and 10% from the native aquifer that underlies the Las Vegas Valley. And we don't get very much out of the 7 states and Mexico that share the Colorado River. Nevada has a legal entitlement to 1.8% of the Colorado River. Now, if you guys were asking questions in real time, this would be the juncture where I get the question, why don't we renegotiate the compact? The answer to that is, to change a compact that's been entered into under the U.S. Constitution, you need the majority vote of 7 state legislatures, the signature of 7 governors, majorities in the House and the Senate, and the signature of the president. Now, your faith in our democratic institutions might be slightly higher than mine, but I don't think we're going to get 6 states to vote to all take less so that we can take more. So we need to do it via negotiation. We need to find alternative mechanisms in order to achieve our goals. Now, we all know, if you've been out to the lake anytime in the last decade, that Lake Mead is imperiled. You see here, in the year 2000, the lake was essentially full. You fast forward 17 years, the lake has dropped about 138 feet since the turn of the last century. We obviously, using 1.8%, don't have a lot to do with that. That's largely water users downstream, and the fact that the snowpack in the Rocky Mountains has been significantly lower than it was in the 20th century. And we need to be prepared for that to continue. What this graph shows in the vertical axis is the elevations of Lake Mead. So at about 1,200, the lake is full. We sit today about 1085 or so. So if we model out either a continuation of the current drought or the drought that hit the Colorado River Plateau in the 1950s, you see that the lake levels are going to continue to go down. And the most critical elevation on this slide is elevation 1,000. Because as we sit in this room today, if the lake goes below 1,000, we don't have the pumps to physically pump water out of the lake. So this is not our children's problem, our grandchildren's problem. This is our problem today, and I'm going to explain the steps we're taking to address it. This just shows that as early as January 1, 2020, that we could hit the first federally declared shortage level in Lake Mead. So this is what we're doing about it. we're banking a lot of water. I'll tell you all about that. We're planning, again, resources, 50-year resource plan every year, driving down our use, and above all, we're building some pretty significant infrastructure. So the first step in that infrastructure was in 2008, we began to build the third intake. In 1971, the federal government built intake number 1. In the late 90s, intake number 2 came on, but we knew we needed an intake all the way at the bottom of the lake so that regardless of how far the lake levels decline, we would be guaranteed to have a significant amount of water over our intake. So we finished that in September of 2015. That is a 20-foot diameter tunnel, literally 2.5 miles underneath the lake. It was a significant capital undertaking, the cost of $817 million. But today, every gallon of water that's being used in Las Vegas is being pulled from that third intake. So I just want to explain location upstream of Hoover Dam. Because no matter how low the lake goes, the Bureau of Reclamation can't release any more water out of the dam if it gets down to elevation 895. And that new intake of ours is sitting there at 860. So even in a situation where you can't release water from the dam to Los Angeles, to Phoenix, to the country of Mexico, we're guaranteed to have 35 feet of water over our intake. But the intake isn't the entire solution. If we have any engineers in the room, they will verify for me that pumps push, they don't suck. So today, when those original facilities were brought online, pumps were installed at 1050 and at 1000. That's why if the lake goes to 999, there's no pumps to push the water uphill. So we are building the low lake level pumping station, which in combination with the third intake will give us the ability to pump water under any hydrologic conditions. And it's a significant undertaking. That's our 20,000-pound drill bit that you don't buy at Home Depot. That's our 250,000 pounds of rings on top of the drill assembly, because what we've had to do is punch 6-foot diameter holes 500 feet straight down so that we can get below the dead pool level and install pumps, which in combination will have 32 pumps that can each pump 30 million gallons a day, and in combination can produce 900 million gallons a day of water, fully replacing the first 2 pumping stations. So this is the forebay. This is 500 feet underground. That's the bottom of those 500-foot holes that drill bit punched through all that volcanic and metamorphic rock out on the shore of Lake Mead. These are our 12-foot aqueducts. You don't buy a 12-foot wide joint at Home Depot either, but we had to move the water from our new pumping station to our existing treatment facilities. Okay, so that's it for infrastructure. On the water conservation side, we are, simply put, the most successful urban area in the world when it comes to municipal water conservation. We have removed enough grass in this valley. You can take your pick of your graphics. My favorite by far is the fact that we can roll an 18-inch piece of sod 94% of the way around the circumference of the globe. That's how much grass we've taken out of this valley since 2002. And the results of that speak for themselves. Our population has grown 43%, our per capita water usage is down 36%, and our consumptive use off the Colorado River is down 26%. So that has made us extremely secure in our overall water resource portfolio and ensured that we have enough water to continue to grow our economy. Water resources. I told you we've been banking water. So since the mid-90s, we have cooperated with the state of Arizona to inject water into their aquifers. We have cooperated with the state of California, the country of Mexico, all to come up with banked regional supplies. So today, we sit with a reserve account of 1.8 million acre feet of water. You can see that last year, our consumptive use was 243,000 acre feet of water. So we have in excess of 8 years of our current demands banked around the region. There's no other major city in the desert Southwest that has anything like this kind of water reserves. We've also partnered with agencies throughout the Colorado River Basin to put more water into Lake Mead. And the result of those programs is, without them, today we'd be sitting at elevation 1050. Because each one of these colored bands represents a different program that put more water into the lake. So because of those, we're 34 feet higher than we would have been. So every 3 feet is enough water to supply Nevada for an entire year. So 34 feet, that's 10 years of our water supply that's been added to the lake. So what this slide tells you, these problems can seem daunting. This drought is real, it's prolonged, but we have the tools to address it. It just takes money and political will. So what we've been working on is a plan with Arizona and California to put additional measures in place that will slow the decline of the lake. This has been in the press a lot recently. Arizona has managed to get sideways with the 4 upper division states, but the reason that we need to have a drought contingency plan is pretty simple. With either just current risk or with additional shortages from projected climate change, we show out in the next 10 years a 20 to 30% chance of Lake Mead going below 1020, which would be extremely dire conditions for the Colorado River. But if we put these additional contingency plans in place, we push that probability down below 10%. So that is really the onus that is on the basin states right now, is to come up with proactive plans to continue to use less water. Okay, so I've told you about our 50-year resource plan a couple of times because the number one question I get, and I'll get it after this no matter what, is Las Vegas going to run out of water? And the answer is no, and here's why. So this is base case. If we never see a shortage on the river, and if CBER, the Center for Business and Economic Research at UNLV, if they're correct in their population projections, which are represented by the red line, we have plenty of water through 2068, right? That's our 50-year plan. If we model a shortage on the river every single year with the current 20,000 acre foot reduction in federal law, those temporary supplies, that 1.8 million acre feet in reserves, will also see us through 2068 without adding a single gallon to our portfolio. This is our stress test. What we do here is we double the rate of population growth, we double the shortage volume that's currently in federal law to 40,000 acre feet, and what that shows then is we would need new water supplies in about 20 years. However, if we can ramp up our conservation, if we can improve even upon the success story that we've had so far with conservation and save 8 more gallons per person per day by 2035 and 9 more gallons per person per day by 2055, even under that worst case hydrologic condition, you push the need for future resources out into the mid-2040s. So we do control our own fate. It's just a matter of whether or not we have the will and the desire to use water more and more efficiently in the desert. So that does it for us. Always want to remind people to absolutely keep conserving. You can learn all about this and get more information at snwa.com. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions. Yes, sir. Wait, I warned vigorously that I had to wait for you to hold the microphone.
How do you get back your banked water? Do you just take more of what comes out of the Colorado as a credit against California, or what?
It's different bank by bank. So in Arizona, we've physically injected the water into their aquifers. So when we call that water back, they turn on their pumps, they take that water out of the aquifer, they order less from Hoover Dam, and we take their Colorado River water out as an exchange. In California, they haven't physically banked it, so they actually have to reduce their usage and again let us take it out of the bank. But we have about 300,000 acre feet that we physically injected into the Las Vegas Valley. So for that, we just turn on our wells and take it out. So it's slightly different for each component within the overall bank.
Yeah, the question, well, just one comment is that we just got back from Egypt, and those who only feel like alone, they're having a big controversy there because Ethiopia wants to build a dam on the Nile, and that means that all the downstream countries, Sudan and Egypt, are restricted from. So that's me under negotiation. But my question was, what's going on with the attempts that are going on for years to draw all that water from northern Nevada and the aquifers down there, down here for our use, for future use, or daily use for that matter?
Right. Well, that project is in our future resources portfolio, but as you can see, we obviously aren't going to need the water for at least 20 years, so it's not a project that we're going to move forward with unless and until it's absolutely necessary. And it's also just one of our options because particularly with the deals we've done with the country of Mexico since 2012, we've established the legal mechanisms whereby we could build a coastal desal facility, probably at Rosarita Beach because there's existing power facilities there, and do an exchange of water under the Mexican 1944 treaties. So all of those, that's why we do a resource plan every year for the next 50 years. So when we're 10 years out from needing more water, we'll be able to activate one or more of those options.
So thank you for the interesting information. I imagine the recycling is energy intensive. Do we have enough of it to increase the amount of water we can recycle, and what are the cost impacts of using energy to clean the water and recycle it?
So I'm sorry, do you mean do we have enough energy?
Well, it's got to cost something, right? I don't know where that energy is coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
We manage our own energy portfolio. We own our own transmission. We have a loop 230 kV system that goes all the way around the valley. So we run our own book of energy. We have a lot of solar. We're about 19% renewable right now. So we have a lot of on-site, particularly photovoltaic. And then we mostly hedge out, to 3 to 5 year natural gas facilities.
You get it from natural gas and solar? Are those the two? Natural gas and solar are the two?
Those are the two biggest components of our energy portfolio, yeah.
A question, could we stop worrying about this if we cut down on illegal immigration?
That's well outside my jurisdiction.
I was impressed with the banking situation as you described it, but we have been around Nevada long enough, many of us know that banks can go broke. And how assured are we that these banks would have to meet their commitment to give us back water and we'd have no problem getting it back?
So the question is really how certain are we that we can get the banked water back? I'll give you a couple of different answers. The first, the most tortured water saying in the known universe is whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting, right? But that's not my favorite. My favorite is it's better to be upstream with a shovel than downstream with a water right. and we got a really big shovel. So when the day comes, we got to take our water out of the lake, we're going to take it out of the lake. Now I'll give you the legal answer. The legal answer is we have binding contracts with both Arizona and California. The Secretary of Interior serves as the guarantor or the surety under those contracts. So we are 100% confident when the day comes we have to pull that water, we're going to have the legal ability to do so.
So I'm curious. I heard that Lake Powell had actually filled up, and so is there an option to release more from upstream into Lake Mead?
And this has been controversial of late, and I'll explain why a little bit. First, Lake Powell is in the process of falling 60 feet this year because we've had an extremely dry year in the Colorado River Basin. It's tracking to be the 5th or 6th driest year in recorded history. About 43% of normal inflow is going to go into Powell. So the way Powell and Mead operate together, sometimes one can get a little bit higher for a year or two, but over a 3 to 5 year window, the goal is to equalize the contents of both reservoirs. And that's actually so while Lake Powell is falling 60 feet, Arizona decided it would be a good time to fiddle with their water order so that they changed the elevation of Lake Mead and got Lake Powell to release another 700,000 acre-feet of water, which elicited a very nasty letter from 4 governors upstream. So overall, they should be equal over the intermediate period, but they're always designed to work in tandem. Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry, you've got the mic.
Would you say that again, please, about we can do all the showers we want, et cetera, and then I have it.
Okay, so indoor, it's a closed loop. If you turn on your faucet, turn on your shower, run it all day long, if it goes down the drain, it winds up in a treatment plant, it gets cleaned, discharged down the Las Vegas Wash into Lake Mead, where we can take that exact same water out again. The only way we actually lose water out of our system is when you turn on your sprinklers or when you run your evaporative coolers.
Okay, so the other question is, so what happens when the lake keeps going down, and we know that California is getting the most of the water, correct? And the stuff that goes towards agriculture, approximately 70-80% of that is used for alfalfa, which is not for human consumption, but for cattle consumption. How does that all fit in? And I mean, like, they can just take whatever they want, because the more they take, even though you say we're allocated so much, eventually, if they're taking all that, we don't have much to take, even though we're allocated to do that.
Well, that's why it's key that we're going to be able to access water even if they draw it down that far, because they do have the senior priority rights. Some of what I talked about briefly with the drought contingency plan, though, the reason you lower those probabilities of the lake going lower from 30% to less than 10% is because under that deal, California would, for the first time, agree to take less. So they're seeing that risk too, right? I mean, there's professional water planners in California, and people in the Imperial Valley and Coachella Valley realize that if Hoover Dam can't release water, that whole area of the economy is going to be devastated. I mean, the greater Los Angeles area from Burbank to San Diego is about 50% reliant upon the Colorado River. So they, even though they have awfully good legal rights, they're seeing that they need to start taking proactive measures to protect the lake as well.
Thank you.
She's coming with the mic.
I saw on the news this morning that California legislature is going to mandate solar panels for all new housing and existing housing. I don't know if that'll pass or not, but will that take some of the pressure off from California for water?
I guess possibly a little bit. California doesn't have a lot of wet-cooled power generation, and the stuff that they do have, like down by Huntington Beach, I mean, they're using ocean water for cooling on that. So I don't think, water consumption for power cooling is going to move the needle. I mean, this gentleman's right. 80% of California and Arizona's water consumption is agriculture, and the rest is largely municipal.
What's the story of Mount Charleston? I have a home up there, and I pay in the summertime onwards of $300 a month. And I don't really water a lot, but everything up there is so dry that I'm losing. I lost 14 huge trees this last time. The drought is just unbelievable.
Right. Well, for good or bad, the story on Mount Charleston is you have very few people by which to divide the operation of a pretty expensive water system. I mean, that's all operated on wells. You have the same, sort of expenses that we have in terms of being able to repair pipelines. And when there's a break in a pipeline, you got to roll a truck from the valley and go up there and fix it. And you got all the expenses down here divided by 2 million customers, and all the expenses up there divided by 200 customers. It's numerator denominator. That's all I can tell you.
But you only have like 3 wells that are.
There's not a lot of water on Mount Charleston.
It's been really tough.
Yeah, it's a challenging system. We run a lot of rural systems, and that's by far, in a way, our most challenging.
Hi, a week ago Wednesday when it was raining, and Wednesday is the day that I get to water, so I have electrics, I have regular sprinklers. I noticed the water police was on my street. What were they doing? And that was during the day when most people would be at work and didn't know to turn their sprinklers off?
Well, they may well have just been reading meters. Because
no, he had his little woo
right,
going on.
And that because they drive slowly. So we have automated meter readers, right? So we don't have a guy or gal that goes door to door anymore and looks at the meter like it was 20 years ago. But we also don't have a system that reports all the way back to a central location. So we have to roll trucks down the street, and they pick up the signal from each meter and know how much water is being consumed. And they serve dual purpose. They read the meters, and they also enforce those watering restrictions and day of week and things like that. So if it was Wednesday and you were allowed to be watering, they were probably reading meters.
Okay. I'll look at my bill when it comes in.
Thank you, John. Thanks for coming to speak to our meeting. As a thank you, we would like to present you with our Share What You Can award, where we will present a hot meal with water to a homeless veteran in your name.
Excellent.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. And John has agreed to stick around for a couple of minutes if you have any more questions. And let me end today by congratulating every one of you again for reaching our $2 million goal. And if you wondered if what our club does make a difference, hopefully by seeing our president, Kaden Cheeks of our Kitterack Club, and all the Kitterack kids, we are truly teaching youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development. Now go forth and make a difference.